Hey guys, my name is Kevin. I'm the owner of Define Nutrition,
And I'm Preston. I'm the head of formulations here at Define Nutrition.
and we're here to talk about our Define Hydrate formula. This is our electrolyte formula.
So, what electrolytes actually are these minerals that we have within our body and that we eat in our foods that actually have an electrical charge to them, and they can control everything or play a role in everything from balancing fluids within the body to controlling like blood pH levels and some things like that. So, whenever it's pertaining to living an active lifestyle, working out, and things like that. Electrolytes are going to most obviously help keep us hydrated, so help maintain a positive, essentially like fluid state in our body, making sure that we have enough fluids and electrolytes to be able to perform the best that we can. Outside of that, it's going to help with energy levels and fatigue management, all the way down to helping out with things like muscular contractions as well.
So, big thing about this product is it really can be used by just about anybody. One most common one is obviously if you're outside, especially if you're doing workouts outside or in a place that doesn't have AC. Typically, you're sweating a lot and losing those electrolytes. And when we start to notice that fatigue in a workout where we just can't seem to like muster up the energy, a lot of times that can be because we are low on electrolytes. A big thing that I like to use it for as well, and something that we've seen a lot of is just fatigue throughout the day. A lot of times you don't realize, even if you're just working like in an office, is that you'll notice that you're fatigued throughout the day, but you've been drinking your coffee or your energy drinks, but you just still don't seem to have that energy. Is that it can play a big role in that mental fatigue or fighting that mental fatigue just during the day as well.
So whenever we sat down to initially write the formula for this, the $1 million question was, well, what ratios to use. Whenever it comes to an electrolyte product, it's primarily always just going to be electrolytes, or at least it should be. And the main thing that will change is going to be ratios. So we did some looking around and we figured that the medical community got it right the first time whenever it came to the lactated ringer IV bag in particular. So we have these out to kind of display what that actually is if you're not familiar with it. But if you were to ever go to the hospital and have a heat stroke or anything related to that, this is most likely what you're getting hooked up to. It has crucial amounts of key electrolytes just to hydrate you as fast as possible. Now, our goal within the formula was just get to as close as humanly possible to having the same formula as what's in a lactated ringer, but obviously in a powdered form because lactated ringers are actual bags of liquid. So we got as close as we could, and that is going to be, if you look at the little chart, it's electrolyte sources per scoop. You'll see that at the bottom left of any defined hydrate bottle, but that is what's actually going to match up pretty much to a T what you see on a lactated ringer. So that is going to be 910 milligrams of sodium chloride. Now within the lactated ringer, they do use sodium lactate as well. The sodium chloride is to make up for the fact that we cannot use that. So we just put a little bit more in, but 910 is still the same amount to a T what they use in a lactated ringer, as well as the 30 milligrams of potassium chloride and 20 milligrams of calcium chloride, also to a T. So whenever it comes to the ratios, that was the big idea behind it, just getting as close as we possibly could to something like a lactated ringer.
So you'll even notice too, if we could get a look at the supplement facts as well as the electrolyte sources per scoop. Typically, the medical industry and the supplement industry will list ingredients differently. Where on the supplement facts, which is obviously very common, or that's what you're seeing on all supplements, that is the elemental amount of things like sodium, potassium, and calcium. Where the medical industry lists theirs as the actual total input amounts. So that's sodium chloride. That's why you'll see sodium chloride at 910, but on the supplement facts, you'll see it at 355. The only two other electrolytes out there are magnesium and phosphorus. So we decided to include those as well. So we're hitting literally all five electrolytes that exist. So on top of that, we included coconut water powder. That's going to bump the dose of potassium a little bit. And outside of that, we really didn't include anything else. And this is actually one thing that we're pretty proud of. Electrolytes don't really take up a ton of space. A big dose of sodium is a very, 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 very small amount in a scoop. And that's one of the bigger doses in there. So when you look at Define Hydrate, it is a fairly small scoop, but a very potent one because it doesn't include things like sugar or other fluff ingredients thrown in there for various reasons. It is literally just electrolytes in that formula, keeping the product just a hydration product.
So whenever it comes to how to take Define Hydrate, it can be used in a number of different ways. So whenever it comes to the standard scoop size in here, that is going to be roughly equal to about 100 milliliters of a lactated ringer. Now, on these two bags, that is seen as like one standard serving for it. But as you can see, they also come in bags that are at 10 servings of it. This will be 1,000 milliliters, and this is 250. So the point of me explaining that is it really depends on the scenario. If you are working out in a commercial gym and it's super cool and you're not sweating at all into the middle of winter, you're going to need less than the guy who is out in the middle of a job site in the summer in Oklahoma. So on average, 1 to 2 scoops does pretty good for almost everyone, but can be used differently in more extreme scenarios, as well as a number of different scenarios. One that's kind of interesting to touch on for a sec is Define Hydrate and just electrolytes applicability in hangovers. So one of the main reasons for that groggy feeling the next day after a heavy night of drinking is from being dehydrated. So making sure that you are getting in your electrolytes, getting in your fluids, especially lots of water the next day, with some electrolytes, that can also help almost reverse that kind of groggy feeling that you get from a hangover too.
So the biggest thing to take away is that 1 scoop of Define Hydrate equals 1 serving of a lactated ringer IV bag. So you can take as many scoops as you need servings of that IV essentially. So you can find this product at definenutrition.com as well as various retailers. And if you guys have any questions about Define Hydrate or anything else, please feel free to reach out to us on social media.